A once promising lead has become yet another dead end in the ongoing search for Nancy Guthrie.
Well, local law enforcement officials say the DNA recovered from gloves found 2 miles away from Guthrie's home did not trigger any matches in the FBI's database. Investigators believe the gloves matched the ones worn by the suspect caught on doorbell surveillance video here. The DNA sample from the gloves was ran against millions of others. Investigators had hoped it would match with someone that's been previously arrested. Experts say there are still many other pieces of evidence to consider in this case.
We're talking about DNA, but this ultimately could boil down to something as simple as who bought this backpack.
Absolutely, and that's what we've seen on a lot of crimes that we've solved.
Well, of course, they're referencing that Ozark Trail hiker backpack also seen in the video. It's only sold at Walmart stores, and investigators say they're now working with Walmart, going through months worth of purchase records to see if there is any possible suspects on that list. Meantime, another element of this investigation are the piles and piles of digital evidence that detectives are now sorting through.
That includes everything from cell phone records to traffic cameras. CBS News Philadelphia's Joe Holden spoke with detectives here in Philadelphia about some of the techniques federal officials are likely using in Arizona.
We've checked in with our law enforcement sources about investigative techniques. What is playing out behind the scenes in the exhaustive search for Nancy Guthrie? They want DNA to provide a solid lead, but sources say it's also all about the data, from cell phones to surveillance cameras, as well as cell towers. At high-profile trials here in Philadelphia, prosecutors have taken down defendants, locking them up using data from their cell phones. In court, accused killers and alleged mass shooters are confronted by an apparent avalanche of data brought by investigators. Detectives obtain warrants and pair information from so-called cell phone tower data dumps with surveillance video to prove near exact location. That's information regularly used to show precisely where someone is if their phone is on.
We have our devices and they're always communicating with cell towers. Whenever I'm doing an investigation, we're always looking at, what devices, we can put at the scene of a crime.
Back in the fall, during the intensive search for Kata Scott, Philadelphia police at a hearing this month testified they backtracked the defendant's phone, discovering exactly where he allegedly was.
You get all the phones that were active in that area.
Retired FBI agent Vito Roselli said the work in the Guthrie case amounts to the proverbial needle in a haystack. Processing all that data takes time, he says.
You have to have, somebody that's going through all those records and determining, what are the legitimate numbers, what numbers have or have not been in the area before. You have to find patterns for numbers.
Finding leads, tracking down persons of interest or suspects, experts say cell data will be used to corroborate other pieces of evidence.
I always think of it as a tool just like all our other tools, like ballistics or other forensics data. It's a layer upon which you can set upon other layers like witness testimony, video evidence.
And with some of the highest profile cases, investigators say their best tips still came from members of the public calling in what they saw. In Center City, Joe Holden, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Stay with CBS News and CBS News Philadelphia for the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie. When we're not on TV, we're always streaming or online at cbsphiladelphia.com.